In the upcoming assembly elections in Kerala, all eyes are set on Nemam constituency. It was after decades-long attempts, BJP has opened an account in Nemam constituency in Kerala. Thus it becomes a lone constituency held by BJP in the state. And for this reason, contest in Nemam has attained nationwide attention. In UDF's attempt to grab Nemam constituency, they have fielded K. Muralidharan, while to retain the only seat of the BJP, the party has fielded former Mizoram Governor Kumanam Rajashekharan there. On the other hand, with the intention to get back the lost seat, LDF has fielded V. Shivankutty this time. After BJP getting hold of Nemam's seat, Kerala has witnessed only one election, and that was the last Lok Sabha election. Intense competition was held between the BJP and Congress then. As the first phase of the campaigning for the coming assembly elections comes to an end, the political scenario in Nemam is almost similar to that during the Lok Sabha election. However, the figures of 2016 and 2011 assembly elections are different. The figures of last two assembly elections show that when the BJP and CPM had neck-and-neck fights, UDF remained as a mere spectator. Many factors, from the candidature of JDU to the organizational weakness in the constituency, have contributed to the setback of the UDF then. But the figures of Lok Sabha election is different from this. Let's look at the distribution of votes in Nemam constituency, where UDF showcased strong competition in 2014 and 2019 Lok Sabha elections. When the BJP and Congress had a strong competition, LDF was pushed to the third position by securing only the cadre votes. In 2014, there was a difference of 18,046 votes between the BJP and Congress. And in 2019, the difference was reduced to 12,041 votes. While comparing the figures of Lok Sabha and Assembly elections, it became obvious that anti-BJP votes, including those of the minorities, shifted to secular candidates who strongly contested against the BJP. This time also, there won't be any radical changes to this situation. If K. Muralidharan performs well, the anti-BJP votes will go to him. Or else, if Shivankutty exhibits better performance, the votes will shift to him. When Congress is gearing up for a strong competition by fielding K. Muralidharan, the party should consider the figures of Lok Sabha elections. In that case, the vote difference between the BJP and Congress is between 12,000 and 18,000. If Muralidharan manages to procure 6,000 to 9,000 votes from what the BJP received, then he can make sure of his victory. In 2016, after contesting many times, O. Rajagopal created history. Not only pro-BJP votes, but also votes out of sympathy marked Rajagopal's feat. Now, K. Muralidharan, who has confronted the state government in issues including Sabarimala, might gain Hindu votes this time. In the first assembly election, after executing the Supreme Court verdict of women entry in Sabarimala, neither CPM nor V. Shivankutty will be able to fetch more votes from Hindu vote bank. So, with an appealing personality, Muralidharan is likely to have a better winning chance in Nemam. The major challenge faced by him will be the organizational ability of his party, which doesn't even have booth committees in Nemam. If the Congress organizational structure doesn't work in such a way so as to lure votes through campaigns, all calculations will go wrong. Of the 22 corporation wards in Nemam, 14 are for BJP and the remaining 8 are for the LDF. The fact that Congress doesn't have a single ward shows the organizational weakness of the Congress. Even if the anti-BJP votes in the Murali Shivankutty contest are divided, the BJP will still benefit. Thus, Nemam is witnessing a tight fight among LDF, UDF and NTA. News Desk, Kaumudy English.